Welcome to the Nigerian Navy Today. I am Jibrin Baba Ndachi. In this episode of the Nigerian Navy Today, we shall bring to you Voyage of the Nigerian Navy's newest warship, NNS Kada, to Guinea Bissau in 2022. Like the seafarers and seamen, the 8 days voyage of NNS Kada brought to life enduring and timeless tradition of navies around the world. When the ship cast off at the Tinkan Highland Port Harbour, it sailed through Lagos Channel into the Atlantic Ocean and sailing through many countries in the ECOWAS sub-region to her destination in Guinea Bissau. At sea, the true meaning of Nigerian Navy's motto of onward together comes to life. Throughout the voyage, all hands were not just on the deck, all eyes were also on the deck to ensure safe sail of the ship to her destination. As a privileged civilian on board the ship, I witnessed daily routine of the ship's company. We shall bring you all the details of the daily routine and more.
The Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awwal Zubairu Gambo, on Tuesday, 24th January 2023, received the Authority Chief Executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, Mr. Farouk Ahmed, and the Principal Staff of NMDPRA in his office. The visit was to seek collaboration with the Nigerian Navy, given the central role it plays in the protection of Nigeria's oil and gas infrastructure. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, otherwise known as the Authority, was created in August 2021 in line with the Petroleum Industry Act 2021, which provides legal, governance, regulatory and fiscal framework for the Nigerian petroleum industry as well as development of host communities. Vice Admiral Awwal Zubairu Gambo, top government officials and the Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, were at the historic commissioning ceremony of Lekki Deep Seaport by His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari GCFR on Monday 23rd January 2023. Located at Itoke Village, Ibeju, Lekki in Lagos State, and observed the first offloading from CMA CGM Mozart at the quay. The project, an investment in excess of $1.5 billion, is a joint venture between the federal government through the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA), Lagos State Government, Tolerance Group, owners of the Lagos Free Zone, and China Harbour Engineering Company. From there, the Chief of the Naval Staff proceeded to inspect ongoing projects at the headquarters of Naval Doctrine Command, Boni Cantonment, Victoria Island, Lagos. Earlier on Sunday, 22nd January 2023, Vice Admiral Awwal Zubairu Gambo also inspected ongoing projects at the Underwater Warfare School, Special Boat Service, Administrative Headquarters, Permanent Site, the Nigerian Navy Secondary School, Navy Town, Ojo, as well as Naval Dockyard Limited, Victoria Island, on Sunday, 22nd January 2023. For a man who has given and still given his all in service to the Nigerian Navy and to country, what can be more pleasing than an unadulterated love, support, and encouragement from those closest to him? To this end, a dinner was organized by family and friends in honor of the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awwal Zubairu Gambo. The event, held at the signature by Wells Carlton Asokoro Abuja on Saturday, 21st January 2023. The show of love and support was massive as family and friends took turns to attest to the virtues of the man whose compassion, dedication, and service to nation is an embodiment of selflessness and sacrifice. On Friday, 20th January 2023, the Managing Director, Nigerian Ports Authority, Mohammed Bello Koko, was at the Naval Headquarters, Abuja. The visit witnessed the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Nigerian Navy and the Nigerian Ports Authority. The MoU is the outcome of deliberate efforts to resolve land issues, waterfront safety and security concerns, and essentially to streamline the tariff and billing for ships calling at Nigerian ports, amongst other issues in the overall interest of the nation. On Saturday, 6th August 2022, the Nigerian Navy's newest warship NNS Kada left Lagos for Guinea Bissau. Since her arrival in Nigeria after 56 days at sea from Sharjah, United Arab Emirates to Lagos, the ship's company, made up of officers and ratings of the Nigerian Navy, are embarking on a first national assignment to Guinea Bissau. NNS Kada is Nigerian Navy's newest landing ship tank warship designed for amphibious operations, transport and logistics. She is a multi-purpose warship that also carries out maritime security operations, humanitarian aid, disaster relief, search and rescue, operation command, mine countermeasure and hydrographic survey operation support. In terms of disaster and emergency, NNS Kada has carrying capacity of evacuating over 1,000 people. With 100 length overall, NNS Kada has flight deck, ro-ro space, cargo deck, supply stores, and ammunition. She has accommodation for crew and troop, an EMF officer. She is the biggest and newest warship in West Africa and one of the biggest on the African continent, with state-of-the-art modern navigational equipment. Unlike the sail from Sharjah to Lagos, where there were port calls, the first deployment of NNS Kada is straight sail to Guinea-Bissau. On Friday, 5th August 2022, ship's company, other personnel from the Western Naval Command and Defense Headquarters worked tirelessly to ensure all equipment and logistics, as well as basic needs of the crew on board the ship, were loaded. And as early as 7 a.m. on Saturday, August 6, 2022, the commanding officer of NNS Kada, Navy Captain Reginald Adoki, the technical advisor, Navy Captain O.B. Animasheun, and the entire ship's company were on beat on preparation to ensure safe sail to Guinea-Bissau. By 11 a.m., the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awwal Zubairu Gambo, represented by the Flag Officer Commanding Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Yakubu Wambai, senior officers from the command and defense headquarters toured the ship, formally flagged off the mission, and then addressed the ship's company on the importance of the mission. While the Flag Officer commanding Western Naval Command and other senior officers left the ship to wait for her to cast off, the commanding officer moved to the bridge to ensure all hands are on deck for safe sail. After a month of preparations at strategic levels and days of implementing strategic directive at operational level, by 12:30 p.m. on Saturday, 6 August 2022, NNS Kada finally cast off from Tin Island. As the ship cast off the harbor, the Flag Officer commanding Western Naval Command and other senior officers waved at the ship's company to bid them farewell. The tugboat pulled the ship and she sailed through Lagos Channel with the help of a pilot who boarded at the pilot station and guided the ship to the breakwaters and into the Atlantic Ocean. As the ship entered the Atlantic Ocean, there were many ships on Lagos anchorage waiting to enter Nigeria. On this mission, the commanding officer has some officers and indeed civilians who have joined the ship's company on her first voyage since arrival in Nigeria on May 27, 2022. The new people on board include instructors and student officers from NNS Kada who are on board to ship for practical training on navigation and direction. There are also Nigerian Navy Special Force, Special Boat Service SBS, the information officer and cameraman from Western Naval Command, and then the journalists on board, Nigerian Navy Today crew. The diving officer, a sub-lieutenant, joined the ship after she arrived Nigeria and embarking on his first voyage. While the commanding officer took charge, all other officers took their position at various tasks on the bridge. The executive officer, Commander U.F. Abdullahi, XO, the navigation officer, NO, Lieutenant Commander T.K. Agu, the officer of the watch, OOW, Lieutenant Commander M. Sabiu, the course one, the ship driver or held man, the instructors and student officers from NNS Kada, port and starboard lookouts on watch all have their hands on the deck. One very important aspect of the ship's company, which is given top priority, is welfare of the personnel on board. There are various units headed by officers that take care of welfare. These include the ship's logistic officer, Lieutenant Commander J. Akere, who is in charge of food and other logistics needs. The finance officer, Lieutenant Commander I. Shehu, who is in charge of finances. The medical doctor, Lieutenant O.Y. Adediron, who is in charge of sick bay and takes care of all medical challenges. As a commanding officer, other officers and ratings take charge at the bridge. The marine engineering officer, Commander Ayoko, weapons electricals officer, Commander G.B. Ibikunle, loading officer, Lieutenant Commander A. Ahmed, and some crew members take charge at machinery control room, where the ship's engine is controlled. While the commander took charge, all other members of the ship's company assumed their special sea duty position for the leaving harbor. Like similar warships, NNS Kada has facilities that would reduce fatigue, such as VIP lounge, officers' wardroom, senior rates wardroom, the crew lodge where crew have their meal breakfast, supper, and dinner. On this mission, the ship's company is not leaving anything to chance. Even though NNS Kada is on a peace mission, the Nigerian Navy's Special Force, the Special Boat Service, SBS, Sub-Lieutenant H. Ademu, were also on board the ship and ready for any eventuality. NNS Kada sails at 10 nautical miles into night, experiencing the first sunset on the voyage. Gradually, the ship sailed into the Bight of Benin, the coastal area of Republic of Benin. The first night at sea was between Nigeria coastal area and Bight of Benin and Togo coastal area. Sailing at a stable speed, the ship sailed into the Ghana coastal area on the second day of the voyage. As the ship sails, various timeless and enduring tradition of sailors, seamen and seafarers while at sea, which all navies and Nigerian Navy have embraced, came alive. First was the language, which differs from day-to-day language on land and in the air. As the ship cast off, the first pipe to call all crew members to take their position, and the first watch, which the duty commenced when the ship left Lagos Channel. On day 3 on the voyage, the ship sails into Côte d'Ivoire coastal area after spending over 24 hours in Ghana coastal area. Mindful of likelihood of any threat and to ensure the ship's company is alert and ready at all times to confront any attack, the commanding officers organized simulation and drill exercise for the special boat service as well as on fire and evacuation. Both exercises were to ensure readiness of the ship's company as well as show of force, that is to send signal for any ship that wants to attempt attack on NNS Kada. There was no dull moment on board the ship, as it was work, pray, eat and play, even for the civilians on board. And on Tuesday, the fourth day of the voyage, the commanding officer surprised the journalists on board as he whined them in. As members of the NNS Kada pioneer civilian, honorary members of the officer's wardroom with all privileges. On day 4, the ship sailed into Liberia coastal area from Cote d'Ivoire. The ship sailed past Liberia's 16 nautical miles of the Liberian channels. Still on the Liberia coastal area, the voyage experienced first rain at sea. There was another surprise which was morale boosting. On the 5th day of the voyage, the commanding officers invited all those whose birthday fall within the month of July and August to crew lounge and organize a birthday bash for them. The celebrants include officers and ratings as well as one of the civilians on board. At sea and far off the land, network for any global service mobile is gold. Once the ship sailed off Lagos channels into the Atlantic Ocean, network for all mobile services went off until Liberia coastal area. From Liberia coastal area into Sierra Leone, the ship became more unstable as the ship continues to sail in the rough waters with constant and continuous pitching and rolling. Some of the personnel and indeed the civilians began to experience seasickness. As the ship sails steadily to her destination despite the rough waters, the commanding officer, Navy Captain Reginald Adoki, organized yet another simulation and drill exercise. This time, the exercise was on the flight deck and aimed at averting or responding quickly and timely in case of any accident when an aircraft wants to land on the flight deck. On daily basis and routinely, meals are served at the crew lounge after announcement from the bridge. But there is no lunch at sea, only breakfast, supper and dinner. Also, the VIP lodge, officers' mess, ratings mess and the crew lodge is open 24 hours for entertainment, with different types of games such as whot and chess. In between the meals, you can visit the crew lodge for tea or cornflakes. In order to ensure that the ship's company keeps fit, there is also gym for daily exercise. For the 8 days at sea, the ship's company followed the tradition of seafarers of dog watch hours, blowing pipes for various announcements. The day starts with a wakey call, then hands to breakfast, supper, and dinner. In between announcement for meals, pipes are blown for various dog hours. When a wakey call pipe is made, the crew have 1 hour to bath, prepare and wait for breakfast. The next call is the breakfast call, which is also 1 hour from 007 hours to 008 hours. The crew converge at the crew lodge for breakfast. Throughout the voyage, the ship's company never goes sleep. There are always personnel in the bridge and various units ensuring the ship sails steadily to her destination. The lookouts on both port and starboard are armed with vernacular which they use from time to time to sight object if it is in the daytime and light sighted if it is in the night. NNS Kada, like a beautiful bride, was pampered by the crew members, always kept clean. After 8 days at sea, NNS Kada finally entered Guinea Bissau coastal area. And after hours on alongside, the ship got to pilot boarding station, where the pilot boarded the ship and guided it to the harbor. NNS Kada berthed at Guinea Bissau harbor, to the embrace and delight of excited Nigerian ambassador to Guinea Bissau, His Excellency Ambassador John Usak, Deputy Commander of ECOWAS Stabilization Mission, ECOWAS representative of Guinea Bissau Armed Forces, embassy staff, officers, and men of the Nigerian Contingent in Guinea Bissau.
My joy today knows no bounds. I may say that my pride as a Nigerian has exceeded the limits of reason. But seeing this massive ship, I'm very proud to be a Nigerian. Our leadership cannot be disputed. It means that Nigeria will always stand up for its brothers everywhere in Africa. We don't just think about ourselves, we think about the well-being of other people. And this stabilization mission is one of those things that we are using to demonstrate the fact that Nigeria will always stand up to fight for others. We may have the capacity, but we're always in support of those who don't have the capacity. Because it's often stated that when a load is lighter, when someone helps to carry, we are here to help carry the load. It doesn't matter whether we have our problems or not, we will always be there for others. One of the things that has made me so proud is boarding this ship and finding that everyone is a Nigerian. I see a family. I don't see any difference that we shout about. We are together in the same purpose, in the same circumstance, and in the same fatality if need be. I see brotherhood, I see greater Nigeria, I see hope in the way these people are together. And I think that we don't have problems, we only have perceived problems when it comes to national unity.
We are all happy as a ship company. Like I addressed the men, everybody has been part of this, and then we're celebrating ourselves. We celebrate ourselves both here and when we get back to Nigeria. So the morale is very high that we have done and successfully accomplished the first major task of the Nigerian Navy Ship Kada, which is that of the strategic sea lift of equipment belonging to the Nigerian contingent here in Guinea Bissau. So we are very happy about that.
Kada is a name for victory. Kada strike the water, reach the land, and make us proud. Kada is the name for victory. Kada Aoshi, Kada Aoshi, the pride of our Navy. Kada is the name for victory. Kada
On the voyage to Guinea Bissau, the NNS Kada ship company proved their worth as committed, dedicated, courageous, and patriotic Nigerians who choose the path many fear to follow. My experience on board the ship as an embedded further strengthened my resolve to continue to support the Nigerian Navy and other security agencies. I enjoy all Nigerians to continue to support the armed forces of Nigeria and other security agencies. Until next week, when we shall come your way again, I am Jibrin Baba Ndachi. Onward together.